Hello, my name is Tejas Malala, and today we shall explore the concept of Shruti in the context of South Indian classical music, which is also known as Carnatic music. In trying to understand this term, we'll also explore some of the practical uses of this term. The term Shruti has been used in a variety of musical contexts all through history. Today we shall explore two different ways in which it was used. Let's first explore one of the more technically correct ways in which the term Shruti is used. Here on the board I have a starting point, a musical starting point, a foundational frequency. Let's call it the musical note Sa. A certain distance away from Sa, you can see that I have made markings. So these markings are representative of other musical notes. So in relation to Sa, these musical notes sound subjectively pleasing or at times are even logical. So these entire collection of musical notes or positions in relation to Sa are called Shrutis. As some of you could probably tell, this version of the word Shruti is rather difficult to understand. So I hope to explore this more in future videos. For now, I'll move on to explaining the more everyday, the easier way in which the word Shruti is used. This context of Shruti refers to the foundational pitch or that starting point upon which all other musical notes are based upon. In Western music theory, this starting point is called the tonic or the root. This tonic note in Carnatic music is known as Sa, which is short for Shadjama. The key point again to remember is that this Sa or the Shadjama is that starting point upon which all other musical notes are based on. In better explaining this, I'll use an analogy. Here on the board I have three musical ladders drawn. We can see that they are identical in every way apart from the fact that they start at different heights. Let's call the height at which the first ladder is starting, let's call that Sa 1, and the height at which ladder 2 is starting, Sa 2, and the height at which the third ladder is starting, Sa 3. Let's consider this particular musical ladder. Sa ri ga ma pa da ni sa sa ni da pa ma ga ri sa. Now the second ladder is at a higher height. Sa ri ga ma pa da ni sa sa ni da pa ma ga ri sa. And then we have the third ladder over here, Sa 3. Sa ri ga ma pa da ni sa sa ni da pa ma ga ri sa. Sa ri ga ma pa da ni sa sa ri ga ma pa da ni sa. So as you can see, despite the ladders being identical in every way, depending on where they started from, the identity or the frequency of the notes completely changed. So how do we know where this musical starting point or the Sa lies? For that we use an instrument which is called the tambura. Or today we'll be using the electronic equivalent of the same instrument, which is called the Shruti box. It is the box that provides the Shruti, hence it's called the Shruti box. Along with the Sa, the tambura or the Shruti box also typically provide us with the fifth note, which is called Pa or Panchama. One of the fundamental skills in Carnatic music is to be able to recognize the position of Sa and Pa in a particular Shruti. Once we are able to recognize these two notes, we have a proper foundation upon which we can find the positions of the other notes. Now you can hear the Shruti box playing us the Shruti. It is set to the pitch C sharp. Let me try hold the Sa and Pa and the higher Sa in this particular Shruti. Sa pa sa pa sa. Now you can hear the Shruti being played in the pitch E. And the Sa pa sa would sound like Sa pa sa pa sa. Here's an exercise where I'd like you to try recognizing the Sa pa sa. I'd be playing a variety of Shrutis, and at the end of each Shruti you'll hear me sing the Sa pa sa for that particular Shruti. Sa pa sa pa sa. Sa pa sa pa sa. So I hope you understood the concept of finding the root note or the sa and the fifth note, the pa, when a particular Shruti is playing. If possible, I'd like you to take the help of a teacher in confirming whether the positions at which you sang the sa and pa are correct or not. In order to sound your best, either while singing or playing an instrument, it is very important to choose a Shruti that best suits your range. We can explore in future videos as to how one can pick out a Shruti that best suits their need. But for now, we can use some approximations as a rule of thumb. For women and children, they usually tend to have higher voices. So for them, they can use the Shruti set to G or G sharp. For men with lower voices, usually they sound their best in C or C sharp. And instruments, be it the violin, veena or the flute, usually they tend to sound their best in the Shrutis D, D sharp or E. So I hope this video was helpful in understanding the basic use of the term Shruti. If you have anything to say, please use the comment section below. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.